Hello, and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some news coming out from Israel that I want to share with you. I want to bring you some updates regarding what's going on down here in the Gaza Strip. How's the IDF doing down there with Hamas? Are they about to pull out here very soon, like what I've been reporting to you guys? And I also want to talk about Hezbollah, some developments that are happening over there. Give you some updates on whether Israel's going to be going to war with Hezbollah here very soon. So first, we're going to be talking about Hamas here. And I have this report that Hamas has fired 20 rockets from Khan Yunis, which is the central portion of the Gaza Strip. Apparently the IDF has responded with artillery fire, firing back at this area where these rockets came from. So this is the first time that I've heard Hamas firing rockets from the Gaza Strip, and this coming from Khan Yunis, which supposedly Israel had been, for the most part, done with this area. This is the central portion of the Gaza Strip. And when Israel first invaded Gaza back in October, was it, from last year, they started on the northern side of Gaza and they worked their way down through the central portion of Gaza. Now we're at the final stage of Gaza, where it's the southern side where Rafah's at. And we know right now the IDF is down there operating. Their tanks have already rolled in, and they are fighting with Hamas down in the southern side of the Gaza Strip. So now we're starting to hear of fighting breaking out on the northern side. I reported that just about maybe 2 to 4 weeks ago, somewhere in that range. And now we've got rockets coming from Khan Yunis. So I've heard multiple reports that I showed you guys just here in the last few days of IDF commanders that operate down in the southern portion of Gaza. And they've come out and said that this fighting could be continuing for up to 2 years. Yet at the same time, we're hearing from Benjamin Netanyahu that Hamas is almost eliminated. So I don't know exactly what's going on down here, but from what I'm reporting and what I'm seeing, Hamas is nowhere close to being eliminated. Israel is still being attacked almost daily, apparently, from rockets. That's what this report is going to be going over here as well. But this is the first time that I've seen reports of rockets actually being fired from Hamas in at least several weeks. So let's go ahead and go right into this. This is on the Jerusalem Post. Artillery strikes Khan Yunis area after nearly 24 rockets pepper south. Nearly all the rockets landed in open areas near the Gaza Strip. So this report came out today, and the attack happened today as well, early this morning on Monday. Some 20 rockets fired from the Khan Yunis area of the Gaza Strip were launched at communities bordering the Palestinian coastal enclave on Monday morning, IDF stated. According to the statement, some of the rockets were intercepted while others landed in open areas near the Strip. The Eshkol Regional Council reported a similar number of rockets fired at the area, but noted that all had fallen in open areas. About 18 rockets were launched into our territory. Most of them fell in open areas outside the communities, and one rocket was successfully intercepted by the Iron Dome, the council reported. One of the rockets fell in the area of Kibbutz Holitz Fence. The Eshkol Regional Council includes territory stretching from the border with Egypt and Gaza to north of Be'eri. No injuries were reported as a result of the rocket attack, and the IDF stated that it had responded with artillery fire striking the sources of the launches. Earlier, the rockets triggered sirens in the Israeli communities in the area. These sirens first blared in Niraz and Ain Hashlosha at 7:57 a.m. local time before being triggered again in various communities, including in Ain Hashlosha several more times. Although rocket and drone attacks have been more prevalent in the north in recent months, rocket attacks in southern Israel have, over the last weeks, remained a near daily occurrence. So look at that. That's very interesting. That's why I was talking about this, is how come these rocket attacks are still happening almost nearly daily if Hamas is almost eliminated, okay? How are they able to do this, set up these rocket launch systems and start sending rockets over to Israel if supposedly they are done with Hamas in the Gaza Strip? So what it looks like to me is they're not anywhere close to eliminating Hamas, and that's just what we're being told. At least that's what Benjamin Netanyahu says, but we keep hearing this from the Israeli government that they're going to be pulling out of Gaza very soon, probably within the next week or two is what I'm thinking. And they're going to start moving their troops up to the northern side of Israel to engage with Hezbollah. Okay, so we did hear as well from Benjamin Netanyahu just the other day. He came out and stated that they will pull out their troops right now, but they will continue mowing the grass later. So it looks like what they may do here is probably just be launching some airstrikes throughout the Gaza Strip, monitoring it probably from the air, dropping bombs throughout Gaza to continue going after Hamas, while in the meantime, their troops will probably engage with Hezbollah up in the north, but that's obviously going to be a war that can be dragged out for a very, very long time. So this is going to get very interesting what happens over here with Israel. So I want to talk about this as well. Let's talk about Hezbollah just for a moment. On the Times of Israel, if Lebanon does not stop Hezbollah, Israel will do so, Gantz tells European envoys. So this is Benny Gantz right here. He's an ex-IDF chief. He was also part of the Israeli war cabinet. We talked about him recently, and he comes out very, very aggressively, okay, when he speaks about this war with Hezbollah, and he keeps telling Hezbollah that they should stop their attacks or we're going to come in and destroy them within days. Benny Gantz has come out and said that before, that they could eliminate Hamas's capabilities within just a few days, is what he's saying. Which, again, I don't know how they would be able to achieve that. It's been 8 or 9 months down in the Gaza Strip with Hamas, but they're stating that supposedly they can do this within a couple days with Hezbollah. Speaking of European ambassadors in Israel, National Unity leader Benny Gantz threatens that the Lebanese state will start paying a price if it doesn't stop the Hezbollah terror group from attacking Israel. There is a state over there, and it has a government, says Gantz in a briefing organized by Elnet, the European Leadership Network, and it cannot hold the stick from both sides unless it wants to break it on its own knee. If we have to break it, then we'll do so, says former War Cabinet Minister and ex-IDF Chief of Staff. So far, Lebanon has not paid the price of this war, and soon enough they are going to start feeling it. They need to make sure Hezbollah stops. Hezbollah needs to decide whether it's an Iranian branch or a Lebanese organization and pay the price for what comes with this, okay? So, obviously warning Hezbollah to discontinue their attacks on Israel on the northern side, which we know that's not going to happen because until Israel pulls out from the Gaza Strip and withdraws all their troops and stops attacking the Gaza Strip, Hezbollah will continue attacking Israel. But he's also warning the Lebanon government to put pressure on Hezbollah to make them stop attacking, or everybody there is going to pay the price for these attacks, is kind of what he's saying. So once again, Benny Gantz coming out strongly and telling Hezbollah to discontinue their attacks or they're basically going to destroy Lebanon, okay? And there's been lots of reports, even from the U.S. government, coming out and saying, I think it was U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, he came out just a few days ago and said that a war between Israel and Lebanon would be a catastrophe for the region, and it could definitely draw all these parties, including the United States, into a major war with Iran. And who knows, maybe that's the plan. I have no idea, but either way, this could be a very terrible war that could break out over here in a major regional war and potentially go into a world war. So I want to show you this as well. We'll talk about Benjamin Netanyahu here just for a minute. Times of Israel. This just coming out today. Netanyahu asserts Israel nearing elimination of Hamas's terror army. So once again, coming out reiterating that they're almost done with Hamas, according to him. Israel's progressing towards the end phase of eliminating Hamas's terror army, says Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, speaking to students from the National Defense College. There will be a continuation in order to strike the remnants, Netanyahu explains. Foreign student from Germany, Singapore, Japan, Italy, Czechia, and South Korea are present as well. Netanyahu pledges that Israel will achieve all its war aims. So he's coming out again saying that they will finish destroying Hamas, basically. And he also says here there will be a continuation in order to strike the remnants. So that's why I'm thinking maybe what they will be doing is continuing to monitor it from the skies, and they'll probably just keep dropping bombs over there and going after Hamas targets once they start to pull out, at least partially, with their troops on the ground, okay, is what I'm thinking. But they're definitely getting ready to go to war against Hezbollah here very soon. But apparently what we're hearing from Netanyahu is that they're almost done with Hamas. At the same time, now we're getting rockets fired from central Gaza from Khan Yunis. So I don't know what his definition of almost eliminated is, but it doesn't sound like they're really eliminated to me. And there's lots of fighting, like I said, starting to break out on the northern side of Gaza again. So it looks like Hamas has been able to regroup. And I've heard as well in the past, over the last few weeks, that they've been able to get more people to join their organization as well. So they've kind of regrown their ranks in a way. But we'll have to see how this plays out down here in Gaza. But either way, we are hearing that they're going to be pulling out here very soon. And that's the very important part of this, is that if they start to do that, that's what really shows here that they're about to go to war with Hezbollah very soon. So let me show you this as well. Excuse me. From Megatron Ron, breaking. Defense Minister Yoav Gallant says the Israeli army needs 10,000 soldiers immediately. So that sounds really bad. If they need 10,000 soldiers, what do they need them for? Well, most likely I would think this would be for Hezbollah, not so much Gaza. If they claim that they're almost done with Hamas and they're about to pull out very soon, why do they need 10,000 soldiers? And this shows as well a very eerie sign that war is about to break out with Hezbollah, and that's why I wanted to show you this. If they're claiming they need soldiers, that's mainly for war, okay? Why else would they need 10,000 soldiers? So they're clearly short on soldiers, and, if they go up against Hezbollah, again, I've said many times, this could be hundreds of thousands, maybe up to 1 million troops that could be going up against Israel's army, and I don't think Israel has a big enough fighting force to really go against this. They do have the backing of the United States, which is huge for them. But we've also had reports coming out from the United States saying that they can only do so much to defend Israel from being attacked. Okay, if they get attacked by thousands of rockets coming from Hezbollah, they will only be able to do so much. So I want to show you this as well from open source intel. Breaking. IDF about to launch an operation in Khan Yunis again. The IDF has begun an operation in Khan Yunis, issuing evacuation notices to residents of lots of different sectors here of Khan Yunis: Karara, Bnei, Suhila, New Isban, Isban al-Kabira, Kuza'ah, and al-Fukari. Hopefully I'm saying those right, probably not, my apologies. It appears that the IDF plans to occupy the entire area east of Khan Yunis and all of east of Khan Yunis. So now it looks like we have an operation that's about to break out where Israel's going to be moving back into Khan Yunis again. So see, this kind of ties into what I was talking about earlier. We've got these attacks coming from Khan Yunis. So that shows that Hamas is still there in this region. And, right now they're down here in the Rafah area. Okay, all this red right here is where Rafah's at. Now they're going to start moving back into Khan Yunis again. And then probably what happens when they start to go up here, that's when Hamas will come back down into Rafah again. So they're just going to be circling around. It's kind of what it seems like they've been doing. And again, this could really take, like what that commander said, that commands the southern front of the Israeli army down here in Gaza, coming out and saying that this could take them up to 2 years. Okay, this could take a very long time for them to finish eliminating Hamas, because Hamas could just be hiding wherever here. There's just there's tunnels being found all the time in the Gaza Strip. There's millions of buildings here, so they could be wherever and just hiding underground. And it's going to be hard for them to completely destroy Hamas in a short amount of time. Finally, I want to show you this too from Bricks News. Just in, Spain officially files to join South Africa's genocide case against Israel at International Court of Justice. So I've talked a lot about this in the International Court of Justice, or the ICJ. This originally started from South Africa. South Africa accusing Israel of genocide in the Gaza Strip. Multiple countries have already joined this case. Now we actually have Spain doing this. Spain has joined this case against Israel, and there's more and more countries beginning to join this. And this is crazy too, because this is a European country that typically most European countries have been cool with Israel. They've been okay with them, but now we're starting to see lots of countries turn their backs on Israel because of what's happening down in the Gaza Strip, where we've got well over 37,000. I think we're approaching 40,000 now, people that have been killed in the Gaza Strip. And there's lots of countries that are claiming here that Israel's committing genocide in the Gaza Strip. So I just wanted to share that with you as well. Lots of big updates here happening down in Israel and the Gaza Strip, and also Hezbollah. So we're still waiting to hear confirmation on whether Israel will be going to war with Hezbollah. I'll keep a close eye on that, and if we get some information coming out, I'll share that with you guys. But again, Netanyahu, coming out and saying that Hamas is almost eliminated. At the same time, we've got 20 rockets coming from Hamas just this morning, fired onto Israel. So these are some of the latest updates coming from this region. So I hope you got something out of this. But that's going to be it for this update today. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. And also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope y'all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.